4 warning signs you should never take vitamin D, and 4 signs you must take it daily. 4 out of 5 people over 60 are taking vitamin D completely wrong, and it's not their fault. Nobody told them the truth. See, vitamin D isn't like other vitamins. It controls hundreds of processes in your body, including bone strength, immunity, heart rhythm, and even your mood. Studies show most of us are running low on it, so taking a supplement seems obvious, right? Wrong. Because while vitamin D can be life-changing when used correctly, taking it incorrectly can cause kidney failure, dangerous calcium buildup, and heart rhythm problems that land you in the ER. Today I'm exposing 4 critical warning signs that mean you should never take vitamin D, and 3 signs your body is begging for it. Let's get into this before you take another dose. The problem. Now, before we get into the specifics, let me tell you why this matters so much, especially if you're over 60. Look, vitamin D isn't just some harmless little vitamin you can pop like candy. Your body actually treats it more like a hormone. It's involved in hundreds of different processes, everything from getting calcium into your bones to keeping your heart rhythm steady. And here's the tricky part. Millions of people are taking vitamin D supplements without ever getting their levels tested. Some folks take 5,000 units a day or even 10,000, thinking more must be better. But that's not how it works. And for certain people, taking vitamin D can create serious, even life-threatening problems. So let's start with who should absolutely not be taking it. 4 warning signs you should never take vitamin D. Warning sign number 1. You have kidney disease. This is probably the most important one, so please pay close attention. Your kidneys play a huge role in processing vitamin D. Medical research shows that vitamin D must be activated in the kidneys before the body can use it properly. Now, if your kidney function is impaired, even just a little bit, vitamin D can build up in your system to toxic levels. And when that happens, calcium starts accumulating where it shouldn't be. We're talking about your kidneys themselves, your blood vessels, even your heart. Researchers have linked this process to worsening kidney damage, stiffened blood vessels, and dangerous heart rhythm disturbances. This is why clinical guidelines are very clear on this point. So if you have any kind of kidney disease, chronic kidney issues, or if your doctor has ever mentioned that your kidney function isn't quite right, do not take vitamin D supplements without strict medical supervision. This is non-negotiable. Warning sign number 2. Your calcium levels are already high. Let's talk about how vitamin D really works in the body, because this part is often misunderstood. Vitamin D's primary job is to help your intestines absorb more calcium from the food you eat. That's great if you need it, but if your calcium levels are already elevated, adding vitamin D is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Doctors call this condition hypercalcemia, and hypercalcemia is not harmless. Clinical studies have linked high calcium levels to symptoms such as persistent nausea or vomiting, confusion, brain fog, and trouble thinking clearly, irregular heart rhythms that can become life-threatening. Now, you might not know if your calcium is high unless you've had recent blood work. That's why it's so important to get tested before you start taking any supplement, especially vitamin D. If your doctor has ever told you your calcium is high, borderline, or above normal, vitamin D supplementation should be paused until that issue is fully addressed. Warning sign number 3. You're taking certain medications. This one catches a lot of people by surprise. Vitamin D can interact with several common medications, especially those that are often prescribed to people over 60. For example, certain diuretics, which are water pills that help with blood pressure or fluid retention, some heart medications, high-dose calcium supplements. When vitamin D mixes with these medications, it can throw off your body's delicate balance. Blood calcium can spike, your kidneys can get overwhelmed, and your heart rhythm can become irregular. I know it seems like just a simple vitamin, but your body doesn't see it that way. Your body sees it as a powerful hormone that needs to be carefully balanced with everything else going on. So, before you take vitamin D, sit down with your doctor or pharmacist. Show them every medication and supplement you're taking. Let them check for interactions. It takes 5 minutes and could save you from a serious health crisis. Warning sign number 4. You're taking high doses without testing. This is one of the most common mistakes, and it can be dangerous, especially for older adults. You might have read online that taking 5,000, 10,000, or even 20,000 IU of vitamin D daily is safe, or maybe a friend told you that's what they take. It sounds harmless, even natural. After all, it's just a vitamin, right? Here's the problem. Without a blood test, you have no idea how much vitamin D your body actually needs. You could already have enough, and adding more won't make you stronger or healthier. It could push you into toxic territory. Medical research shows that toxicity typically occurs when blood levels rise above 100 nanograms per milliliter, while the safe range is 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, and anything over 60 nanograms per milliliter should be closely monitored. Another key point is that vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it accumulates in your body over time. Unlike vitamin C or B12, your body can't simply flush out the extra through urine. This is why even small amounts above what you need, if taken long-term, can be risky. So what should you do? Always get a blood test before starting high-dose vitamin D. If your doctor recommends supplementation, recheck your levels every few months. Never assume more is better. The wrong dose can quietly cause harm over weeks or months without obvious symptoms. Remember, taking vitamin D without knowing your actual levels is like driving a car blindfolded. You might get where you want to go, but the risk isn't worth it. Now, I don't want you to think vitamin D is bad. It's not. For many people, especially those over 60, it's incredibly important. If this video is helping you make sense of things, take a second to like the video. Now let's flip this around. Let me show you 3 clear signs that your body is telling you it needs vitamin D. 4 signs you must take vitamin D. Sign number 1, bone pain and muscle weakness. This is often the first thing people notice when their vitamin D is too low. You might feel a deep aching pain in your bones, especially your legs, ribs, or back. Unusual muscle fatigue, like your legs feel heavy. Difficulty getting up from a chair or climbing stairs. An increased risk of falls, which is really concerning as we get older. Here's why this happens. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for getting calcium into your bones. Without enough vitamin D, your bones start to soften and weaken, even if you're getting plenty of calcium from your diet. This condition is called osteomalacia in adults, and it's more common than you might think, especially in people over 60. If you're experiencing these symptoms, talk to your doctor about getting your vitamin D levels checked. It could make a world of difference in how you feel day to day. Sign number 2, frequent infections and slow recovery. Have you noticed that you seem to catch every cold that goes around? Or when you do get sick, it takes you forever to bounce back. That could be your immune system crying out for vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a crucial role in regulating the immune cells that protect you from viruses and bacteria. When your levels are low, your immune system just doesn't work as well as it should. Research has shown that people with low vitamin D tend to experience more frequent colds and respiratory infections, slower recovery times, more severe symptoms when they do get sick. This becomes especially important in winter when we're getting less sunlight and our vitamin D production naturally drops. If you find yourself getting sick more often than you used to, it's worth having that conversation with your doctor. Sign number 3, low mood, anxiety, or sleep problems. This one surprises a lot of people, but it's very real. Vitamin D influences the production of serotonin. That's your brain's feel-good chemical that helps regulate mood. It also affects melatonin, which controls your sleep-wake cycle. When vitamin D is low, you might notice feeling unmotivated or down, especially in the winter months. More anxiety than usual, trouble falling asleep or staying asleep through the night. Just a general sense that something feels off. This is particularly common during the darker months of the year when we're not getting enough sunlight. Now, I want to be clear, low mood and sleep problems can have many causes, and vitamin D isn't always the answer, but it's definitely worth investigating, especially if you're experiencing other symptoms we've talked about. Sign number 4, higher risk after age 60. And here's a risk factor most people don't realize. Your age itself could be silently draining your vitamin D. As we get older, our bodies naturally change, and that affects vitamin D in several important ways. Our skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight than it did when we were younger. Our kidneys become less efficient at activating vitamin D into its usable form, and many of us spend more time indoors, whether because of mobility, work, or lifestyle changes. Studies show that up to 50% of adults over 60 have lower than recommended vitamin D levels. All of this adds up, making deficiency extremely common and often unnoticed. This means that even if you're eating a balanced diet or getting some sunlight, your body might not be making or using enough of this essential nutrient. That's why if you're over 60, it's especially important to be aware of your vitamin D status. Paying attention now can help protect your bones, muscles, immunity, and overall well-being and prevent problems before they start. So, if you and your doctor determine that you do need vitamin D, how much should you take? For most adults over 60, daily dose 800 to 1000 IU. Slightly higher doses may be recommended if your levels are low, especially during winter when sunlight is limited. The key principle is that less can actually be more. The right dose keeps your vitamin D levels within the optimal range, 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, where your bones, muscles, and immune system function best. And check your levels periodically. Vitamin D requirements can change with age, lifestyle, or health conditions. You can adjust as needed. Once your blood levels reach the target, your doctor might lower the dose or recommend taking breaks. A simple way to think about it, vitamin D isn't a daily set-it-and-forget-it vitamin. It's more like a thermostat. You adjust it based on your body's current needs, not just what you read online or what someone else is taking. Following this approach keeps you safe, helps your body get the benefits, and avoids the silent dangers of oversupplementation. Listen, I know this was a lot of information, but it's so important. Vitamin D is not just a harmless little vitamin you can take without thinking. It acts like a hormone in your body, and when used correctly, it can absolutely be life-changing. But when used incorrectly, or when taken by someone who shouldn't be taking it, it can cause serious harm. So here's what I want you to do. Before you take another vitamin D supplement, have a conversation with your doctor. Get your blood levels tested. Make sure it's safe for you. And if it is, find the right dose for your body. Your health is too precious to leave to guesswork. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And subscribe to the channel. We're covering important health topics like this every week. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.